Hi guys, Ancient Warrior. Welcome back to Prepping and Free America. If you like what you hear here, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be the first kid on your block to know what craziness I'm talking about next, hit the bell icon with all. And I am here messing with my computer at the same time because I got to start shutting it down because I got to change computers. My regular computer is not the one I use to upload to YouTube. Guys, let's talk about government's role. As a lot of you are aware, if not all of you, this last week, the Congress and the Senate decided to vote on a collective bargaining contract for the railroad. Folks, they weren't asking for a lot. They were, I've got a friend that I go to church with. He works for the railroad, and he said, he flat looked at me and he says, we make good money. He said, all we wanted was more people on the job, and they wanted sick days. I was shocked when he said sick days. I looked at him and I said, are you telling me you guys don't get sick days? And he said, that's correct. Now, 2 years ago, they were considered essential employees, essential workers, so they had to go to work. And he said train crews got devastated by COVID because one guy'd start catching it, and the next thing you know, the rest of the crews got it. And they didn't get paid for those days off. And then they started cutting back on help. One of the guys that works as a member of the track crew, repairing the lines and stuff, he said right now they could use 6 more people on his crew alone, and it'd be so much easier on the rest of the guys. But the railroad is now all about money and not about safety. And they're always saying, oh, we can't do that because the money's just not there. Excuse me, folks. It's been weird weather around here, so I got a runny nose. So the looters in Congress, and yes, I did call them looters. The only difference between them and people who break into places during a riot and loot is there is no difference. They're both thieves. They stole the right from the rail workers to do collective bargaining under a 96-year-old law. Folks, we're not going to see, or at least I don't expect to see a strike come up December 9th, the way they was talking. But we could see work slowdowns. We could see a bunch of that. And let's hope we don't see any sabotage. People getting out there messing with the tracks and derailing trains. Because that's always a bad thing. The government has no business involved in collective bargaining. It's kind of like what Karine Jean-Pierre said about Twitter the other day. She said they're going to keep an eye on Twitter. What business do they have being involved in a private company? Let me answer that question. None whatsoever. They have no business in that business, messing with that business. This is looking more and more every day like what Ayn Rand wrote about in the 1950s in Atlas Shrugged. I'm just waiting to see who John Galt's going to turn out to be. You know, folks, we have got to get Congress and Senate under control. Now, the Democrats are in pure panic today. This is being done Sunday the 4th. And let me tell you something, guys. They're in pure panic because Twitter, young man over at Twitter, Elon Musk put this guy in charge, and he's dropping the tweets and showing people exactly what went on behind the screen. A lot of dirty dealings. And they have promised, the Republicans have, once they get in power, there's going to be investigations. And all of a sudden, ABC, NBC, CBS, and MSNBC has spent exactly 0 minutes talking about this. CNN spent 10 minutes talking about it because they was getting upset about why Elon Musk had the right to do this. Well, he owns the company, that's the reason. And he's admitted that Twitter did commit voting election interference. Our biggest problem has not been the Chinese, have not been the Russians. It has been our own damn people. Somebody asked me yesterday what I thought about the Georgia elections, and I just flat said, I said, I don't expect Walker to win. I expect it's rigged against him. But he needs to stay in there and keep trying. And if he doesn't win this time, he needs to go back. Do it a second time. But he needs, eventually we're going to win if we hit it hard enough times. Government has no right to be involved. And before you bring up the 1980s and Reagan and the air traffic controllers, that was an entirely different subject. I was expecting this to happen, to be honest with you. I knew that, railroads are considered national assets. So I was expecting Congress to walk in. I was expecting them to actually let it go on a week or two and then come in and do it. They didn't even let it get to the deadline. So, with that being said, folks, have a blessed day and give your family a good hug. And I wish you a Merry Christmas. If you don't see me before then, I'm planning on you seeing me. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, it's better to have this equipment and not need it than need it and not have it. I'm the Ancient Warrior, and we're out.